Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Panty Nectar podcast, your host, Panty Nectar.
Hello, and good morning. Welcome to episode 68 of the Panty Nectar podcast. I am bringing you guys a juicy one today. I get a question a lot in my DMs. How long should sex last? So I thought, who better to ask than my fellow sex workers? But before we dive into the episode, I do want to talk a little bit about it being May. We are into a new month. I am so excited this month. I feel like May is such a great, maybe I'm biased because my birthday's in it, but I feel like it's such a great, spring vibe, fresh vibes, right before summer vibes. May is like that butterfly cocoon before you finally bust out of it. I feel like that's what May is.
To me, May is like the calm before the storm, right before fucking summer hits.
Right before summer hits. Yeah, exactly. No, we're in a new month, new month right now, May. April went by. I don't even know how April went by so fast.
It was a big fool's.
Like, what the heck?
30 days here and gone.
What the heck? Yeah, it flew by. I'm excited for May. A new month always brings new goals, new workouts, new schedules, new everything. So if you are finding yourself in a rut, then I recommend that take this new month, set some goals, set up a schedule, a routine, something that works for you, and do not let that be an excuse anymore. Go into this new month strong.
Hard to make excuses in May.
Exactly, right? Plus, most people are like, oh, I got to get that body right before summer. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, kill it in May then.
Yeah. May is the big transition period. You know what I mean? It's just,
right?
For all of us, it's like, all of us have gone to school before and we were all so excited at that time. It's like fucking summer's almost here, know, to be a little rambunctious kid about to get out of school. And then, now many of us are parents and it's like, oh shit, the kids are in school, the kids are coming out of school. It's about to be summer. You got all these things going on, summer camps. People are trying to figure out what they're going to do for the summer. People go on big vacations, and it's fun. May is a cool month,
right? Isn't it?
Yeah,
such a good month.
I like
such a good month. Plus, we get to celebrate all you MILFs out there in May. So
is it
shout
MILF
out.
May or something?
MILF May.
MILF May.
Hey,
never heard of that.
Yes, I love that. So, a question that I get quite often in my DMs, and more so a statement than a question, is, hey, Panty Nectar, I don't feel like I'm satisfying my significant other properly. Do you think we do this long enough? Do you think this is okay? Do you think this is okay? And I thought, what a great podcast episode we could talk about how long should sex last? I think for me personally, it depends on the day of the week that you ask me. I'm a big, Mr. P and I, we love the end of the night, get it real quick so that you sleep good. I love those kind of times.
Yeah.
But I'm also I like foreplay. I like things like that. So I think it just kind of depends on you and your partner, kind of, what you're wanting to accomplish that specific time.
Yeah.
If you're wanting something a little more intimate, a little more sensual, then maybe that takes a little bit longer. Or if you're wanting something just right before bed, feels good, hit it real quick, come, good to go, and you can crash out peacefully for the night. So it really just depends. I think for me, it depends on what kind of mood I'm in, what day of the week it is, where we're at. So I don't know. I feel like 10 minutes is a decent time to get everything done. Is that everyone's what the fuck? That's too short. No, but I feel 10, 15 minutes, that's enough to get in, get out. I've had people where for hours and I'm this isn't even fun anymore. I'm not wet. We're going on hour 3. This is not fun anymore.
Yeah.
Those are always, but I did a poll on Twitter. I did a poll on my Instagram. And then I also got feedback from lots of sex workers in the same space. Some of them you may know. Some of them maybe you don't recognize the name. But I got a lot of feedback. And it was very interesting to see how everything varied so much. Mr. P, how long do you think sex should last?
Well, Panty Nectar, I think kind of like you said, it's just dependent on the situation, of course.
Right.
If it's a Tuesday night and it's like, shit, we got to be up, for work tomorrow type thing, you kind of get in, get it done, get it, get in, get out, I guess.
Get in, get out.
But,
yes.
But, if you and your significant other are going out of town for the weekend and you have a nice hotel room and you go out and you have dinner and it's Saturday night, and you come back to the hotel room, things are more sensual, and, it could probably be a lot longer than a few minutes, right? Mm-hmm. So it's definitely situational, I think.
So Google, who better to ask than Google other than ChatGPT? I should ask ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Google, I just asked Google, how long should sex last? Google told me that the average therapist's response defined the ranges of intercourse activity times as adequate, from 3 to 7 minutes. That's what I'm talking about. That's like the sweet spot right there.
3 to 7.
Yeah. Desirable from 7 to 13 minutes. 7 minutes in heaven.
Yeah.
Too short from 1 to 2 minutes. And too long from 10 to 30 minutes.
Yes.
That's interesting, right?
Yes. And that Google search result you pinged right there must be straight out of the Penn State research that was done in March of 2008, or at least it was released, because that study right there finds that the average therapist response defined the range of intercourse activity times, like you said, adequate 3 to 7, desirable 7 to 13, too short 1 to 2. Too long.
1 to 2.
Too long, 10 to 30.
10 to 30.
See,
I also think it depends on like what you define as sex. Well, I think that's a very open-ended kind of question.
Yeah, Panty Nectar. So this was a few, this was 15 years ago, and this is Penn State. I'm sure we have a lot of Nittany Lion fans out there, but personally, I don't give a fuck what Penn State has to say. What do the people on Twitter have to say, Panty Nectar? What did you ask
So
them?
Twitter,
This is the real shit, right?
This is the real. This is the real vibes right here. This is what's going on in the real world. It says, I said, on average, how long do you think sex should last? Drop your answers below.
How many results were there, Panty Nectar?
So there were 3 short of 3,000 votes.
Oh, wow.
2,997 votes. Even though 39,000 people viewed it. Where y'all at in the votes?
You just got to press a button. Don't be too lazy.
But the results were the winner, that taking majority at 59% was 10 to 30 minutes.
10 to 30
Which
minutes.
is like, I feel like that's a good average time. I feel like that's a good answer.
Yeah.
10 to 30 minutes. Runner up with 25% was 30 minutes to an hour. Okay. 9% said 3 to 5 minutes. I see y'all. That's okay.
Hey, I'm with you right
y'all.
there.
Yeah.
The 3 to 5 minute guys. Let's do it. We got shit to do after,
let's
right?
Do it.
It's like a basketball game on after
God.
this. Jesus.
That's funny. No, but it's true. Like I honestly like just enjoy a quick few minutes. I want enough for you to fuck me rough and for us to come, and then I'm good. Like I don't need all the extra stuff, me personally. And then to end it, 7% said several hours. Look here.
Who are
Look
you,
here.
7%? Who are you, several hour people out there?
And so I went ahead and did the same thing on my Instagram because, obviously there's people range all over on the platforms. There's different people on every platform. So I wanted to see how Instagram did. And surprisingly, 55% said 20 to 30 minutes, which 59 on Twitter said the same thing. So that's
20 or 10 to 30?
10 to 30.
Okay.
29% said 30 minutes to an hour, which is almost on par with what Twitter had. 7% said 3 to 5 minutes, and 10% said several hours.
Okay.
Yeah. I can see those votes too. I know who y'all are.
Yeah, it went from 7 to 10, but from 7 to 10, that's a big percent jump.
Yeah, I thought that was very, very interesting.
50% or so, and just the that's.
And you'd be surprised. I had people responding back to the poll, and they're like, several hours. Who are these people that take 1 to 2 minutes? And I'm like, who are you?
Yeah.
Several hours beating it up?
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to find out, like, and this isn't trying to razz anybody. I'm just curious. Yeah. I like data, right? So, like, my question now is, okay, because there definitely are people that are, like, into the, hour-long sex thing, too. Like, I got it. But I wonder if people who are more apt to choose longer periods of sex, if you will, if those people have sex at the frequency of the people who are choosing 10 to 30 or 3 to 5 minutes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because
makes sense.
Let's say you have a boyfriend or girlfriend and you see each other, every weekend or something, and you go and you kind of get in the routine of things, right? And it's like you're married, right? And you definitely get in the routine of things. So you might you might cough. You might be a little more apt to choose the lower end of the spectrum, if you will, on the times. But if you're a single person and you're like, "Fuck, I haven't been laid in 2 months," you might subconsciously click that several hours button. You know what I mean? Like just because you want it more. Maybe it's been because you haven't had it as long.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, we definitely know that there's people that and this isn't right. Notice you're not saying that one of these are right. And everyone else is right. This is just the answers, right? It's everyone is right? Like if you chose this answer and that's your choice, then you're right. There is no wrong in this. We're just curious to see what people have to say about it.
Right. No, I left it very open-ended when asking the other sex workers, other content creators, asking them like for their answer on this kind of question. And it was very cool to see the response, how different everyone kind of interpreted the question, how everyone answered the question, how it all went. So let me start reading some of these content creator answers. I asked so many content creators that we are definitely going to have enough to be able to read on the next episode as well. But I just took some of these. First off the bat is she is Tang on Reddit.
She is a Tang.
She is a Tang. Yes, she is a Tang. She said, sex should last as long as both parties are having fun. Sex is not just a penetrative act. It is the blowjob, the fingering, the touching, the playing with each other's bodies until you've reached satisfaction. Sometimes sex lasts 10 minutes and sometimes hours. Mood is everything. Yeah. Thank you, She is a Tang, for writing me back with this. I think this is a great answer. Again, like that goes back to the question, what do you qualify as sex? Is it the foreplay? Is it the massage before the penetration? Is it so I definitely include it in there. I think that is a part of sex overall. So love that answer. I think
it's quite subjective, and she does I like her answers as well. She is a Tang, is a fucking facial queen. If you have not seen her, you definitely need to go check her out. I know she's on Twitter, and I know she's on Reddit. No telling where else. She's definitely a cool person, and
she
always
has some big old boobs too.
Big old boobs. And she's always a good vibe and always taking good facials. So definitely check her out. Yes. She is a Tang.
She is a Tang.
Tang, and we'll have it in the show notes.
Yes. Next up is Poppy and Zach on Reddit. Maybe you guys have seen Poppy and Zach, their videos on Amateur Hall of Fame, Sluts Less Refuge, a couple other of the subreddits. Super awesome couple, super hot couple. So I definitely wanted their take on this. And I have to not say it in an accent either. I was telling Mr. P the other day, I'm like, have you listened to any of their videos? I'm like, she has an accent. I'm like, I had no idea.
See, and I haven't actually heard them talk, but I've seen where they type out something and they'll use favorite, for instance. They'll use the British, English, OURITE, whereas West Americans.
That's funny. I haven't noticed.
Damn, they must be from Europe. And you were saying that.
She definitely has an accent. And it at first, I think I was watching it was their 69 video where he was holding her upside down.
Oh, yeah.
And they went to get down and she like said something and I was like, she has an accent. I'm like, I had no idea.
They're a
oh my
super,
gosh.
super hot couple. You have to check
Very
them out.
fun, very friendly. Okay, so I actually got answers from both Poppy and Zach on this question. So Poppy says, to be honest, I am happy with anything over 15 minutes, but it really depends on the mood. Sometimes I crave a quick, more intimate fuck where the goal is for us to come, and that can be short. But other times I like having passionate, more adventurous sex for longer, trying different positions, lots of foreplay, etc. In that case, it can be up to an hour or even 2. When we have sex, I'm usually happy after 1, sometimes 2 orgasms. But if we have drunk sex or fuck a lot longer, I can have more. But typically after 4, I'm absolutely spent.
Damn, she just reminded me. So like I don't drink anymore, you know, and we were talking. We discussed that here. But drunk sex
is
drunk sex is pretty.
It's
drunk
fun.
sex might have me drinking again. Now that I think about it,
because you're just like no inhibitions.
Don't give
just
a
all
fuck, like.
nasty ass, get real raunchy. Yes, no, I love that. So Zach's answer says it's a similar case for me. Sometimes I want to come and I'm happy for a quick 10-15 minute fuck, but other times I really want to have fun with it, try new positions, so then it's much longer. Foreplay also really matters because we will easily spend 30 plus minutes just licking each other all over. For me as a man, the first 20 to 30 minutes are the most intense and enjoyable. After that, it's not so much the feeling, but it's more the activity of having sex, which is great.
Yeah.
So
he must be doing something right because he's they make some hot ass videos. He,
some hot ass
Poppy
videos.
and Zach, thank you so much for those answers.
I don't feel like I've ever heard Zach talk. I feel like I need to hear Zach talk though.
I wonder if we could get him on the podcast.
We should. Who would love to hear that in an interview with Poppy and Zach?
Poppy and Zach.
That'd be great.
Our European friends. I don't know. That's like
great.
a fucking. That's like, I don't know. Yeah. Is that a Persian accent? I don't even know. Sorry, all you Brits out there. I don't fucking know.
Okay, next.
Hold on, Benedict. I gotta tell you something. One
Yes.
time, so long story short, this was 20 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. I'm standing at the bar. This lady comes up to me. She was older than me, and starts talking. And she has this very, very thick accent. And she
Okay.
wanted me to go meet her daughter, right?
Okay.
And
Oh God.
yeah, I won't go that far into the story, but nonetheless. She goes, she's sitting there talking to me, and like after a few minutes, I'm like, and she is really nice. She goes, I was like, where are you from, Australia? She had a real thick accent. She's like, no, I'm from England. I was like, I'm a fucking idiot.
That's something I would do. I'm like, where are they
I
from?
have
The
no
UK?
clue. No clue.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So this next response is from You Lost Huckleberry 7324, which you guys also know as Jesse and Jackson. Lost Huckleberry is their Reddit username, so maybe you guys are familiar with that. They said, really no magic number as every couple and person has unique needs and desires. We think the key is everyone is satisfied and has received pleasure in the way they desire versus an actual amount of time. Pleasure for both parties should also be the focus versus the amount of time too. So I really dig that answer.
Okay.
I think that's...
We have to ask them, which one of y'all is the fucking stoic? I like
yeah,
that.
it's probably
like
Jesse.
I don't know. That's like such a great answer. I'm sitting here thinking like, you know what? Y'all are exactly right. Like sex should not even be about time, right? Like it's like there's so much more to sex than to worrying about like, oh my God, did that last the 10 minute mark? You know, like what if that fucking 3 minutes is just absolutely mind-blowing and it takes you into this out-of-body experience, you know.
That's my whole
sex
point.
Pretty much is.
I'm hoping that like with all these responses, because I still have several more to read, with all these responses, I hope it really comes across that like everybody is different.
Yeah,
People truly get offended when I answer them with that kind of answer. When they like ask me something and they're like, They don't say do you, they say is my cock good enough, for example. And I tell them everyone's different, and they're like, well, I just wanted an answer. And I'm like, well, but that's the answer. Everybody is different. What I want may be completely different than what you want, than what the next person wants. So like, there is no answer to how long should sex last. There isn't. There's not an adequate number that you're going to hit and your partner's going to be satisfied. That's not how it works.
Yeah. But if you're that dude fucking busting a nut before you even go in,
you may have...
you might not get that opportunity again. You know what I mean? She might be like, sir, you need to get the fuck out of here.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm going to find a different Tinder date next time.
Next. Swipe. Okay, so you, Anna +1 on Reddit.
Penny Nectar, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No,
when you
okay.
just said swipe, I was just thinking, could you imagine if Tinder had an option to review somebody?
Like, what do you mean?
Like if you went on a Tinder date and you could come back and be like, oh, this person sucks. Like 1 star.
Major creep, 1 star. Good fuck. Good nice dick, 4 stars.
Yes.
And it's all left on the review thing.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be great.
Sorry, Anna +1.
Anna +1. She said, honestly, I think sex should last as long as it takes for both partners to feel satisfied. If that means 1 billion orgasms, great. If nobody comes but everyone had a fun time, also great. Either that or 69 minutes, LOL.
For the culture.
I love it.
1 billion
Thank you,
orgasms
Anna.
to 69 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But once again, she kind of went down the path of like, it's not necessarily about time per se. It's about the experience and the joy that everybody's receiving.
And she even said, even if no one comes, like, and you're all still having a great time, like, that's great.
No, I'll be nutting. Yeah. Don't worry about
you
that.
will.
Don't worry about that. You might not. I will.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Holly Hotwife. You guys know Holly Hotwife on just about everything. I think she's on absolutely everything. Super hot wife. Holly Hotwife says, in my opinion, 30 minutes is perfect. Even 15 to 20 is a great time as long as everyone got off. Anything under that can be considered a quickie and is also great.
Yeah.
Again, as long as everyone got off. And if it's sex with my husband and I've been away being a naughty hot wife, 30 to 45 minutes is needed. He has to reclaim me.
30 to 45 minutes of reclamation.
Ooh.
Oh, Vince or Vincent.
Yeah,
Vincent. Sorry if I'm butchering your name, sir. But yeah, that's they're a very hot couple.
They are.
And they're like truly into the stag vixen hot wife lifestyle, right? Like he's not we saw a clip of her where she was on a podcast out in LA somewhere. I don't recall the podcast, but she was discussing that, like about like her kind of lifestyle, about like the like her going out and meeting dudes and like fucking them, and then but he's not submissive in that sense of like getting off to being humiliated.
Yeah.
He just enjoys seeing his wife get fucked.
Right.
Which
and then obviously reclaiming her.
Right. So she was talking about that, their sexual experiences are definitely, she's talking about them independent in each, but also after the fact, after she goes out and has sex with other men, she comes back, and according to the, kind of her answer here, saying that the sex that her and her husband have after that, I can only imagine how fucking hot that is.
Yeah, no, when I read that response on Twitter, I was like, oh shit. I'm like,
Penny,
wow.
And was it the last podcast or the podcast before I was mentioning about how I saw something years ago about how men will produce a higher semen count, higher sperm count after their wife has been away? Remember me?
Yes, yes, I do.
So, yeah, they're probably his sperm count probably fucking jumps like 50%.
So does he hook up with other people?
I
would love to interview them for the podcast.
I think so. I don't want to, they're probably thinking, oh, fuck no, don't say it. But I think so. I noticed that they go out, they'll be going out.
I've seen him tag other people, other girls and stuff before.
Yeah.
I would love to learn about what that dynamic looks like. I'm always interested in hearing how like other people's situations work for them, because it's not like a right or wrong thing. Like everything works different for everyone. So.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. I mean, not trying to overlay your prism of your reality of your life onto somebody else, because that's just projecting.
Right.
Right? Like you thinking, no, they shouldn't do this. Well, why?
Right.
Why think, well, that's you thinking that.
Right.
That's not them. They're out there living their life, having fun. So leave them the fuck alone. You know?
Yeah. That's why I love like when people are like, you're swingers. I'm like, sure, whatever.
Right.
Like, even if it's not, like, where is the negative term to that? Because you don't do it?
Yeah.
That's why it's negative? That's always interesting to me. Okay, Miss Kitty Meow. You guys have seen her on Reddit. She's the deep throat queen.
She's awesome.
Yes, she has such a fun personality. Just the little bit that I've talked to her, I feel like I've found better friends in this space than I ever have outside of the space in like the real world, if that makes sense. Like, I have met girls that I just like click so well with and have so much in common with, and they're all open-minded as well because of the space that we're in.
Right.
Miss Kitty Meow is one of those that I think we would be besties outside of this stuff. She said, I personally prefer a long sex session where we can take our time just having fun. I can have a lot of fun with a dick in my mouth, so that can take a long time. I love altering between intense rough sex and then just doing some more preliminary stuff, fingering, sucking, spanking, all you can think of, and then go back to intense fucking. I can also go for quickies, but then I prefer having multiple ones. I feel that.
Yeah, she definitely. I wonder. We should have got her take on her self throat fucking she does.
Yeah,
because
we'll
she
need
does
to make an episode about it, because I think that'd be awesome to have her. Like, didn't she train herself?
Yeah, like I've only seen her solo.
Right.
Now, that's not to say that she doesn't do boy girl stuff.
Actually,
you know,
and
I'm not. You know, maybe she does. I don't know. I'm sitting her on her Reddit right now, and most of the stuff she does is like face fucking stuff too. You know, like she'll wear like these hot masks.
The leather. She wears a lot of leather on Instagram.
Yeah, but it's sexy, you know. And I'm not bad. Like for me, like the bondage type leather stuff just doesn't do it for me. It's just not it doesn't really appeal. I think it's cool. I think it's artistic, you know, in that sense. But as a turn on, it just doesn't really do it. You know, like the strap. But like she wears like sexy like cat leather masks, kind of, that like
I can totally picture
like,
you fucking her face. Definitely, like she's one of those that I can totally see it.
Yeah, I could see myself.
You're like, yeah. She posts things on Instagram and like it'll be like when someone calls me good girl or something like that, and I'm like, oh, we're so alike, and my husband would love to fuck your throat.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely.
Okay. Lexi Legend. She is on Reddit, Instagram, and she is also huge in the Discord. So
yes.
If you guys know who I'm talking about, Lexi Legend, she is also one of those that I think like I would get along so well. Like we would be besties because we're so alike. Even when she goes off about like peanut butter in the Discord, people are like, what? Pissed? And I'm like,
she
yes,
doesn't
girl.
like peanut butter?
I don't think so.
Oh,
no. That's my girl. Yes.
No, I ate peanut butter by the fucking spoonful.
He's not kidding.
I really
in
do.
the kitchen, a spoonful of almond butter, peanut butter, whatever it is, then douses the honey on top of it and tries to shove it in his mouth before it drips off the spoon.
Yeah, it should be a sport, man. You know, like the hot dog eating fucking contest that those people do. Like, why is it that in a hot dog eating contest, it's a little fucking Japanese guys that can slam like 100 fucking hot dogs in their mouth? Dead serious.
I can't remember the last time I watched.
It's amazing. It's amazing watching these guys eat hot dogs like that.
Okay, so Lexi Legend says, there's not a magic number for me, but we're typically around 20 to 25 minutes starting at penetration. This works for us because we spend a good part of the day flirting and teasing each other, so we're both already primed and ready when we see each other in the evening. It goes without saying that the better you know each other sexually, the less amount of time it takes to get you where you're going. To me, that is where the fun comes in, because since we both already know the way to the destination, it makes it easier to enjoy the journey and see the lights along the way metaphorically. I'm personally not a fan of extended sex sessions because you reach a point of diminishing returns where sensations lessen and soreness increases, which I completely agree with.
Yeah, so Lexi's just throwing out the fucking map. She doesn't need the map anymore. She knows how to get to the destination, and she's already there.
She's probably like, one time I worked as a map reader. We're going to hear that. If you guys have not interacted with Lexi
awesome.
and her husband, they're also, both of them are in the Discord. Who's
her husband?
Joey Myth, I think is his name in the Discord.
Okay.
Super awesome though.
See, and we discussed this talking about like giving significant others in the Discord like their own role, so people kind of know.
Yeah.
Because Lexi, I mean, since she's been in, and she's a mod now. You made her a mod. She is incredibly active in the Discord. So if you want to talk to Miss Lexi Legend, definitely hop over to the Panty Nectar Discord, and she's there right now. I can almost guarantee you.
Always on. She's awesome and very fun.
Great.
But if you get offended easily, probably not the place because they like to fuck around in there.
Shit a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. Even if you're just looking, what I love about Discord is like, it's not like a Reddit or anything that's super inappropriate. Like, you can be on Discord at your job, just in the lounge chit-chatting. Like, it's not, no dick pics are going to pop up unless you go to the Cox Only channel. No, like, the lounge is literally just for chit-chatting back and forth throughout the day. Of course, you can talk about not safe for work things, but your boss isn't going to walk by and see some shit on your phone whenever you know.
Sure, and we know that we have a lot of people go to the Discord from the podcast.
Yes.
So if you're wanting to go right now, please head to the Discord. It's you can just go to the web browser, discord.gg/pantynectar, and there will be an invite thing. Just press accept it. There's over 40,000 people, or there's about 40,000 people there right now.
Yeah.
And there will be a lot more probably by the time you're listening. And once you come in, if you've never been in Discord, all it is a chat. It's just it's just a chat room, basically, right? But that chat room has different channels.
Yes.
So when you come into the Discord on the left-hand side, you're going to see all these different channels under different categories, right? So like for the Panty Nectar Discord, there's the lounge, there's the sluts channel, there's sexcapades,
Cox Only.
Yeah. So you can click on each one of those, and each one of those are different channels that you can go in and explore. Some of them are you can only post pictures, but if you get into the Discord, just go straight to the lounge. The lounge is the main hangout, the main place to chat, and that's where everybody chats at. So if you're confused on where to go, just go to the lounge and ask somebody, and they'll be able to point you.
And everyone is helpful there. So even if a mod is not there and there's just your everyday users in Discord, they're still going to be able. I pride myself in the Discord because it is an amazing place, and not built by myself, but built because of the amazing people in the Discord. So if you're looking for maybe you need some everyday people just to chat with and talk to, and you're feeling a little lonely, like that's the place to be, because we're all invested and we all care about what's going on.
And it's good vibes only. Like you were saying, there are no bad vibes in that Discord. Like if there's bad vibes, you're fucking gone. Yeah. Like that's just it. We don't allow the negativity in there.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, it's not us that have built it. It is the entire community that have built it. And now, it's grown a lot more. There's 40,000 people there. Yeah. But it started from nobody, literally. And, Randy, who's an admin in the Discord. Randy's been there from one of the first days, and has been an insane. If it weren't for Randy, that Discord probably wouldn't be there, right? I mean, but Angry Badger has always, been Kev, and these are our mods have helped us over the years now. Yeah. Literally, it's been years.
It's crazy.
So they might not get shout out on the podcast all the time, but thank you guys so much for literally making that Discord possible. And if it weren't for y'all, the entire community wouldn't be able to have a place to hang out and chat. So thank you so much.
Yeah. It's a really awesome place. Okay, No Face Beth. You guys maybe have seen her on Twitter, on Reddit. Same username across the board, No Face Beth.
She got a big old booty.
Got a big old booty, yes. She says, I think intimate sex should last anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. That gives the woman time to satisfy her man, and it gives time for the woman to orgasm. I think a lot of women have trouble having an orgasm because women take longer to orgasm during sex than men do. Or maybe she just satisfies her man too good, so the sex is only 5 minutes. It happens. I love that. Love that answer. Thank you for that. Okay. So I saved one of the best for last. My girl, Rosalind, she wrote in here, wrote an answer to this question. And she also gave me like an example of an experience she had. So I thought that'd be great to read. So Rosalind, some of you guys know Rosalind, Twitter, Reddit, all of that. Rosalind says, how long should sex last? That's a question with a few different answers.
Okay.
How long have you known this person? If you just started dating and you're like really into each other, I feel like sex should last 24 hours or more, LOL. And then she goes, no, but really. I love.
Is this what you were saying? Like she just kind of says whatever.
If you know Rosalind, like I love her personality because I just feel like there's a million different things going on and like you guys get them all. They just get thrown. I love it.
Doesn't seem like there's a filter there either, right? It's just
no.
Straight through, which we appreciate.
And she goes, no, but really, if you're super young and in a new relationship, I feel like sex should last at least 25 minutes to an hour, unless you're going again multiple times and just keep having sex over and over again. I've had some one night stands before I met my husband where it lasted 2 hours, and then times with my husband where it lasted hours and hours and hours. If you've been in a relationship for a while and you still have sex, she said, which I hope is the case, in parentheses, I feel like sex should be anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, even up to 20 minutes. I've had my husband ask me before sex, hey, let's take our time. So it's longer because we communicated about it. I've also had times where I'm tired from my day and I just want to fucking be done. And it's like 3 minutes long. I definitely don't mind communicating that to him. Then she says, last January, we had a crazy swinger experience.
Okay.
She said, so outside of filming a few times, they were the only people we've ever swung with. We all went away for the weekend with this couple. I've known the girl since high school, but I hadn't seen her in 15 years. We did not communicate about anything before, including how long sex should last. Didn't think we had to. Didn't think anything of it. That was a huge mistake.
Uh-oh.
Hence, it was our first time doing something like this. Anyways, we get to this beautiful private Airbnb in Sonoma in the middle of nowhere. And the second we walk in, they wanted to fuck. It lasted 45 minutes to an hour. And then 20 seconds, in all caps later, they wanted to fuck again. Hubby and I were just holding everything in and feeling super stressed out, but didn't realize it till after the trip. After the trip, we talked about our experience with this couple. We felt stuck. It was kind of crazy. We felt forced. And like we were doing it for way, way too long. It sucked. And the whole time, my husband and I just wanted to fuck each other. And we didn't even know how to communicate to each other or to the other people. We were just kind of stuck. It was so weird. Basically, my answers all come down to communication. If you've been with someone for a while, it requires communication. And if you're with someone new and you start having consensual sex but don't want it to last longer than it is, communicate that. I know it's hard to talk about things when you're in the middle of sexual acts, but your sanity will thank you for it. She said, I think that's all I got. Love you, PN. You're the best. Thanks, Rosalind.
Wow. I couldn't imagine that that had to be a difficult experience that they found themselves in.
Right. And because of that, you didn't communicate. And like she said, her and her husband didn't even know they both felt this way until after the fact when they're talking about it. And they're like, oh my God, you felt that way too? I felt that way. Like, so that's interesting too.
Yeah. And I'm sure, there were, as I'm sure anybody would be, they're so excited going into that situation, and that excitement is, in any situation, sometimes our excitement can cover up the reality of the situation.
Yes.
And, can obscure somebody's vision a little bit on maybe what they should be prepared for as a contingency. David Goggins talks about backstops, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like what do I need to do if shit starts going out of control? I got to fall back to something, and I need to have this plan in place in case something happens. And I'm sure Rosalind probably, like most of us, maybe not have even considered that to be a thing, right? Like you're thinking like, oh shit, I hadn't seen this person in a while, and like we're gonna go, and like you're thinking about all the great sex and the positions and maybe what time of day it is and where it's going to be, and then all of a sudden you find yourself
not
deep
on the
in
same
this
wavelength.
exactly, and anytime you're not on the same wavelength with somebody during sex, it is a awkward fucking experience.
It is, yeah.
And it goes to, what she said. She boiled it all down at the end to communicate.
Yeah. I think that was a great way to cap off the episode by saying communicate, 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 communicate. If you feel like your partner is not satisfied, communicate.
Right.
If you feel like you are not satisfied, communicate. These conversations can maybe be uncomfortable at first, but like Rosalind said, your sanity will thank you. I promise your relationship will thank you. You will thank yourself for being open and communicating, and that will make all the difference in these sexual experiences that you have.
Right. Definitely will. Panty next. That was a great episode talking about the length of sex.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. You never know what will bring you guys next time. But I know next time is Mr. P's favorite episode. 69 is coming in hot.
69, baby. I can't wait. Can't wait.
All right. Until next time.
See ya.